are kicking off Unit 4, which is all about percentages. We're switching gears a little bit from equations to percentages. Things you've done before. We're actually going to do 2 objectives today. Because we're starting 19, 20, 21, and 22 all have to do with percentage conversion between decimals and fractions. Things you've done before. We've converted before between decimals and fractions. We're adding percentages to it here. So we're going to do 2 objectives today and 2 tomorrow as well. Potentially, we shall see. But we're starting with decimals. Okay. And remember that with percentages, your percentage scale is between which 2 values? What is the absolute minimum percent that exists? 0%, right? If something has a 0% chance of happening, it will not happen. Okay, you can't have a negative percentage. And then the highest percentage that you can have, say for extra credit, because but in context, 100%. Okay, and that's way over here, right? And with numbers, how we relate these 2 percentages is something that is 0% is 0, and what number represents 100%? Not 100.
10. No one really cares.
1. Okay, here's 1 whole. Okay, or 1.00. Okay, 1.00. Think about this. If you get, James, do you want to stay or do you want to go? Be quiet. If you get the whole test correct, if you get everything right, you get the whole thing correct, and a whole is equal to 1, right? 1 whole. Okay, so 100% is equivalent to 1, 0% equivalent to 0. All these decimals, all these percentages fall somewhere between that scale. Okay, so we can kind of divvy this up. In the middle is going to be 50%, which what decimal represents 50%? Nolan. Half. Well, that's a fraction, right? So what decimal would that be? 0.5. Okay? Or, because you can write decimals with 0 at the end of it, not change the value, 0.50, 0.50%. Okay? Where would 30% be? Who wants to come up and mark where 30% would be? Jillian, come on up.
Nice marker flip.
Thank you.
Wow.
Okay, good approximation. It's about halfway between 0% and 50. It should be a little bit closer to 50. But and then what decimal would 30% be represented by? 0.3, right, or 0.30. 0.65. Where is that going to be? Who wants some money? Matthew. 0.65.
Whoa, actually getting real into it.
What is
Accuracy is important.
Yeah,
Like
like
the
the
math
math
majors
say.
Let's hurry up now.
All right.
Can I do this, please?
Yes,
No.
please do it.
You may not.
Bennett.
Okay.
Where's all that?
Oh,
Okay.
Oh.
You do look like a Harry or a Lenny.
Harold.
Harold!
You focus on your task up there.
Yeah.
You
Good job.
focus on your
Wait.
task.
But you said 65.
I can't.
Come on, Matthew. You got this.
Just.
Matthew.
It doesn't matter.
There you go. 0.65 good.
Too cute.
Which, as a percentage, quiet you.
That was not nice.
Oh, I have a question. Why did you put the percentage sign first?
Yeah, Matthew.
Ooh.
No, because and I asked that because every year it seems a few kids do. Were you taught that at some point?
Yes.
The percentage sign goes first?
We did.
Yeah.
It should come after. Dollar signs come before, Percentage signs come after.
It's not percentage.
Lines.
Okay, Miss, that's a Carol.
Hey, folks, we are recording. You need to recognize that and be quiet. Yes.
How many lines are in a dollar?
I put 2,
Yes.
but I've also seen it with 1. All right. So a key about writing up on the smartboard is you can't let your hand rest on the board. If you do, it thinks it's the pen, and so that's going to get all the random dots everywhere. But yes, wow. Okay, thank you. 65%, 0.65. It's between 50% and 100%, a little bit closer to 50 than it is 100. 99%. That's going to be right smack dab up against the 100%. Right? It's just one short. 0.99. 0.08. Where's that going to go? 0.08. Amelia.
It's gonna go like.
I give you the power.
I feel we're so good.
Safety goggles.
Yeah, but it wasn't broken.
The math teacher's protection. Good. Okay. 0.088%. Sometimes there's the misconception that this might be 80%, but that position of the zero matters, right? 0.08 would be like 8 cents, 8 pennies, 8%. Then 25%, I'll just kind of go through the rest of these here. 25% should be about here, a little bit less than 30%. What's the decimal value of 25%? Everybody? 0.25, okay? 100%, we did that one. 0.82, that should be about here-ish. And what is the percentage value of 0.82?
I have a question.
Hold on. What's the percentage value of 0.82? 82%. So what can you tell me? What can you think back to last year? Looking at this, what can you tell me about the relationship between percentages and decimals? How do you get from a percentage to a decimal or a decimal to a percentage? What's the relationship there?
Me either. You blocked it all out.
Okay, so 100 is kind of important, and we'll get to the role that 100 plays shortly. But take a look at like something like this. 82% and 0.82. 65%, 0.65. 30%, 0.30. What are you noticing here, Aiden?
She just like put this percentage sign and.
Kind of. I mean, 0.82 and 82%. One's got the percentage sign, the other one doesn't. So there's something to that there. Harrison, do you have an answer?
I was just saying the thing you have right here looks like your baby boy.
Do you have your binder?
My mom forgot.
Can you take out a piece of notebook paper then and jot down some notes? Thank you. What do you notice?
What am I noticing?
What is the connection? What is the relationship between like 0.65 and 65%? 0.82, 82%. 0.30, 30%. James.
You're just flipping it to a percentage.
No.
Okay, kind of. Like if we want to get from,
100.
what's that?
You're all out of 100.
That's what I just said.
So Matilda brought up the whole 100 piece before. Essentially what is happening, to convert a decimal to a percentage, you take that decimal and you multiply by 100, move it over 2 spots to the right, and that is going to be your percentage. That is why you see 0.82 with 82%, 0.65 with 65%, 0.30 with 30%. Okay, what's being done here is this decimal is just being kicked over to the right 2 spots, and that is going to be your percentage. Okay, so let's look down in this section here, 0.22. This decimal kicked over to the right 2 spots. What's our percentage?
You skipped this section?
I did. Thank you.
22%.
22%. Okay. 0.3, we had this one up above. It's going to be 30% because when we move it over 2 spots, what do we fill in that empty space with? A 0. Okay. 30%. And that brings me to the spot that I skipped here. 30% is 0.3. What would 3% be as a decimal? Gigi. Oh, sorry, Liv. 0.03. Okay. 0.03. When you have a single digit percentage, you need that tenths place to be a 0. Right? It's like having 3 cents, 3 out of 100. Okay? Whereas 0.7 is going to be 70%. Because when you kick this over twice, 1, 2, you fill in that empty space with a 0. 0.08, what is that as a percentage, Aiden?
8%.
8%. 1, 2 over 8%. Single digit percentage, we have that 0 in the tenths place. 0.1, is that 1% or 10%? Enzo?
What?
Is 0.1 1% or 10%?
10%.
10%. 2 over 1, 2. 10%. 60%. 0.6 or 0.06? 0.6. Okay, if you want to put the 0 at the end of it, then you can. But be very careful with that. They can be kind of tricky with those single digit percentages. Yes, Abe?
So why do you put 0.03 when you can just put 0.03?
I don't know.
It is way too much work.
That's fine.
Point, you're done.
Yeah. You be lazy. That's okay.
Yeah, I know.
You are lazy though, because you don't want to go outside.
That's
You
not
stand
being
in the
lazy. That's
doorway
being
looking depressed.
that's
coward.
being safe.
Cautious.
No,
No,
there's
it's not.
nothing. I have gone
Safe.
outside every day, and what has
Mr.
happened to
Schultz,
me?
if you're
Yeah.
scared, you're
We
just
all
missing
have.
out.
And look at us. We're standing right
Well,
here.
we
We're
can't
sitting
go
right
outside.
He also
Really?
built his
I
house
love
and
that.
he told them inside.
What if what if your house burns
Never.
down and you don't want to go outside?
Did
Is that safe?
scar you from outside?
That staying safe?
Harrison, what is 0.71 as a percentage?
71.
71%. Over to the right 2 spots. 71%. 0.05 as a percentage. Taya. 0.05 as a percentage. 5%. Over to the right 2 spots. 5%. Okay. It is possible to have percentages that are greater than a whole, particularly talking about with like markups, you know, and things like that. What would 1.56 be as a percentage? 1.56. 150%. Your process doesn't change. Okay. That decimal still gets moved over 2 spots to the right. Right? It just becomes a percentage that's greater than a whole. 1.3 as a percentage. 130%. Okay, 130%. 2 spots to the right, fill in the 0. 130% there. Right? I hope so. Yeah, this is not, don't overthink it really, but that relationship between 100, as Gratilda and James said, and decimals is very, very real, right? Because essentially when you move a decimal over to the right 2 spots, you're multiplying it by 100. The rest of this is going to be homework for tomorrow, but let's look at the brain buster here. Write a percentage between 1.66 and 1.69. Yeah, Jillian.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did Sarah scar you from outside?
No.
Who's
Sarah was the girl in 5th grade I wrote a Valentine to.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I did it not for me, for Sarah. What is a percentage between 1.66 and 1.69? Matthew.
168.
100, well, 168? Like
Oh, 168.
168%, right? Because 1.66 would be 166%. 1.69 is 169%. So 168% is between there. What else could you put down there? Melina. 167%. Also an option. Okay? What's that?
Because
It says percentage.
Oh,
Sorry.
Classic
Is that
Gratilda.
fun as that?
No, that's classic Gratilda.
Yeah.
The next one, write a decimal between 84% and 85%. This will be a little bit trickier.
Is that possible?
Is it possible? So 84% is 0.84. 85% is 0.85. What would a decimal be that is between those two values, Aiden?
You have to move the 84 over to the ones or the ones place and then add a decimal after that.
What?
right?
So what would a
Something like that.
possible answer be?
84.5.
Yeah.
84.5. So 84.5 is not between 0.84 and 0.85. If you're thinking of 84.5%, what would that look like as a decimal? James?
Wait, could you say 0.845?
Sure, right? Remember this? We can add zeros to the end of 0.84 and 0.85 to get essentially like 840 and 850. 0.845 or 0.845, if you want to think like that, is between 0.84 and 0.85. 84.5%, like Aiden said. This, if you convert it to a decimal, this time move the point to the left, right? That's going to give us 0.845. So someone said, is it possible to have a decimal between 0.84 and 0.85? Sure. Okay, if you think about adding that extra digit out, that zero, between 840 and 850, you could have 0.841, 0.842, 0.843, 0.844, anything between 840 and 850. Okay? So 19 is homework for tomorrow. We are also going to be doing number 21 today. So skip 20.
Golly gee.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. 22. 22.
So
22.
What's the point of putting it in the packet?
Yeah.
Like, do you know how many trees are wasting?
We're going to go back to
Save
20 and
the
21.
trees.
We're going back to
Why
20
is
and
this
21 because these two are relatable to decimals.
Silly me.
He's
Well,
killing
he doesn't care about the
trees
outdoors.
for
No, it
this.
wasn't that. He doesn't care about
He's
the outdoors enough.
well,
He
yeah.
doesn't really care that
If I took him outside, he might
Oh, he
cry.
tried with that Christmas outside. What if he
Let's be
fell
real,
off
he
the
might
slide?
cry.
So
Never know what
22 is kind of exactly the opposite of 19 in that we're going from percentage to a decimal. And so going back to what Pratilda said earlier, that word percent literally means out of 100. So when you have like 33%, you can think of this as 33 out of 100 or 33 hundredths. Both of those things, all three of those things, 33%, 33 out of 100, 33 hundredths all mean the same thing. So how would you write 33 hundredths as a decimal? 0.33, okay? Essentially kind of exactly the opposite of what we did to convert a decimal to a percentage. In this case, like 21%, we're going to move that decimal over to the left into 0.21. 21 hundredths, 21 out of 100, 21%. Okay, Melina? You do not. No. 9%, what is that as a decimal? Matilda? 0.09. Okay, how? 9 out of 100? 9 hundredths. 9%, move that decimal over to the left 2 spots, 0.09. Okay, you think of 9 pennies, you have 9 out of 100 pennies, 9%, 9 cents. Okay. So 22 is homework as well for tomorrow.
Great.
Wait, 22?
19 and 22.
What about 2021?
We're going to do those different.
Why didn't you put like this PCU?
Yeah.
Stop. It's just
Makes me
weird.
so mad. This is the way you talk.
No wonder why they don't have
What's that?
In your hair.
What?
In your way.
Oh.
Liv!
Do we have to do a review on 22?
Yes, the review on 12. Hold on, let me take a look at it first. No, you do not need to do the time for review on 22. We'll come back to that for perhaps a later date. So don't X the whole thing out. Just right now, you don't need to do the clock. Thank you, Liv, for that appropriate and on-topic question.
Do we get extra credit if we do it?
No, you don't. You get extra knowledge, though.
Wait, so we're doing 20 and 21 tomorrow.
Yes, or if not tomorrow, I think we actually missed class tomorrow because of reconciliation. Yeah. So this is actually due for you on next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. Tomorrow we don't have class because of reconciliation. Thursday is a retake day. Next Monday you get new seats, and which may not take the entire time. So yeah, let's make this due on Monday. Make this due on Monday of next week. 19 and 22 due on Monday. Okay, 19 and 22 due on Monday.
Wait, when are we getting this?
Monday.
Monday. Why Monday?
Because it's not going to take the entire time. Fate knows you well enough now. It's going to just put you lickety split. It'll be quick and easy.
Yes.
I did. It means quickly.
I know.
Okay, any you want to do together from either page, 19 or 22.
Time for review.
You don't need to do that part.
I know.
Why are you skipping?
Because I just want to know.
It's
Hey, folks, we are still recording. Shh. Enzo, for now. We'll come back to him later. Okay? All right, very well then. That's all I have.
Don't forget to